Hey, what's up, guys? So, in this video, I'm going to react to Luke Belmar talking about diet, optimizing your health for entrepreneurship. And I'm somebody that's been, self employed, running my own online business since 2014. And what I do is I rank websites in Google. So when you rank a website in Google, you get a lot of passive income. So I've had the fortune of being able to, one of my greatest hobby is to for health and wellness and biohacking. So I've been able to spend a lot of time researching different aspects of like health and optimization for the last like 8 years. So I know a lot about this space, and I've gone to great lengths on various topics of biohacking. So I'm gonna give my 2 cents as Luke goes on to talk about his optimization for entrepreneurship, because in entrepreneurship, like having biohacking is like key. Like when you can optimize your body and mental clarity, like it gives you such an advantage.
What is this guy doing randomly in Romania? Or look at this place.
No one leaves this room.
Yeah.
How do you kind of do stuff based off of like muscle mass and like body changing and stuff like that? Do you take that into account?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was heavier. I'll show you how out of shape I was actually. I'll show you I was in terrible shape after the surgery. Yeah.
You also felt bad, right? That's how you looked, bro. Yeah, I agree.
Felt terrible, but again, I could not train. It was literally like
The shoulder's the worst thing. Do you know Lazar Angelov, the fitness model? He
No.
fucked up his shoulder, but all these big guys, bro, they fuck up their shoulder and then they're screwed, bro.
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the rolls on the club. What are we gonna do?
What is it? It is what it is. It is what it is. Just another Hot Wheel.
Yeah, whatever. $550,000.
Shit. It's the random black guy. It's the random black guy. If I don't let him sit on my lap, I'm a racist.
I'm kidding. Please come sit. Please.
I'm trolling.
Hey, record it. I'm trolling.
We're friends, right? I respect you, you respect me.
I hope so.
I hope so, man.
It's called brotherly love. Your pores are getting clogged up with metal.
Wait, so what?
I'll send you all the shit, bro. We use everything organic. Everything, dude. I'll give you another example. Just so you understand how fucking crazy this shit is with how America's going. Lobster, shrimp, crab, cornbread.
Cornbread.
They used to all be, you know what they used to be back in the day? That used to be slave food. That used to be what they would give the slaves to eat. And it's like nutritional value for cornbread, ass, genetically modified food.
Keep you dumb.
Keep you dumb and stupid.
Not even cornbread, like grains in general were slave food. Grains have a lot of phytic acid, which is an anti-nutrient. So plants do not want their seeds eaten. So like any flour, like any bread, it all has anti-nutrients, phytic acid, which blocks your ability to absorb nutrients. So like for example, like pizza, like that was a slave food. Like meat is the most nutritiously dense food on the planet. But but meat's expensive, right? So when people didn't have meat, they would create pizza to try to imitate meat. That's why they use tomato, like the red sauce, to imitate like the blood of like red meat. And they use flour, which is exponentially cheaper. And they made pizza, or lasagna is also imitating. These are all dishes that the slaves, so-called slaves, or the peasants made to imitate meat. That you use flour and like tomato sauce to imitate meat.
Bro.
Get good dopamine rush. Keep you happy.
That's what we just talked about with Tristan, bro. You don't protect the temple.
Also, like there's zero need. The human body does not need carbs at all. Those of you that say like you need glucose, that is true. Like your muscles and your brain need glucose, but your body can produce its own glucose through the process of gluconeogenesis, which is your body converting proteins into glucose.
Bro, you can't operate. They keep you dumb, weak, and stupid.
Bro, I'm retarded, bro.
You're not retarded, bro.
No, dude, you know how much cornbread I ate, bro?
A lot.
Every day for breakfast, dude.
Oh,
Holy
dang.
shit.
That's not good.
This whole society is addicted to carbs, which is basically breaks down into sugar. So our society, Western society or modern society, is all addicted to sugar basically. And this is the cause of all the diseases of modern society. Sugar leads to chronic inflammation in the body because sugar is ultimately destructive to your cells. It's called glycation damage, which is basically what diabetes is. If you have diabetes, which is basically your body can't deplete the sugar levels in your blood fast enough, then what happens with diabetes, like your feet start to rot off, your limbs start to rot off, right? That's an example of glycation damage.
Corn's really good for you.
Yes, and yes, he's like, corn good for you. I'm like, dude, if you have organic corn once in a while, it's fine.
Yeah, you ever seen what real corn looks like?
Totally different, bro.
It's a little thing like this. It's like the size of this.
It's like purple too, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones, but GMO food.
Yo, Luke, you know what you'd appreciate? The whole mammoth conglomerate that was built around the empire.
Most vegetables that we see today were man-made. So like broccoli, like green peppers, spinach, like you would not find these vegetables in nature. This is all created by humans through a hybridization process, genetics like splicing.
Bananas, like how the banana.
Oh, I know. It's one single genome, isn't it? Like if you get wiped out one day, and
So like human beings were not designed to eat vegetables. A lot of the vegetables have anti-nutrients in it, whether that's oxalic acid that leads to oxalate poisoning, or phytic acid, or there's another one.
Yeah. You wipe out that banana and it wipes out the entire plantation. Yeah. It's like the homogenous. They homogenize.
But there's like a lot more too. It's crazy.
Wiped out before. Every banana plant is a clone of of every other, because the banana isn't a naturally occurring plant. The plantain is. The banana, although we say it's different, is actually exactly the same. It's just one tree that turned out fucking edible off the vine when they're ripened to yellow, and they cloned the plant over and over again. They're all exactly the same gene.
And that's why when like one virus affected it, one like parasite, anything, it killed the entire plantation.
Yeah. It's like every single person being a clone, and then the fucking flu coming. There's no genetic. There's no.
Wait, what? That's an interesting topic, because I have a video from the who's the mayor of New York, basically enticing people to get jabbed with Shake Shack. Did you see all they started?
I've seen those free donuts. If you get, I'm like,
bro, cheeseburgers, fries. If you get jabbed, hell, and you don't drink tap water, right?
No, hell no.
Okay.
Myron does though.
Bro, he's a fed. That's why he drinks tap water, bro. It's like horrible for you. Heavy metal toxicity, aluminum,
I told him, bro.
fluoride. There's a commercial that came in New York City, bro. The mayor of New York City says tap into good health, and he's like telling everybody drink tap water, bro.
No, but it wasn't just like an iPhone production. It was a full
production, like tap into good health, marketing campaign behind tap water.
Smiling. Yeah, you can be healthy. Drink tap water. Yeah. And all they need is drink tap water. The mayor says so.
Tate has a point when he says like still waters for peasants. He's not meaning still bottled water. He means your bullshit water that you find from the tap. The free water, the peasant water.
Also, actually moving water, like in Ayurvedic medicine and like Eastern medicine, the fact that water out of the tap moves so much, it's not good. My friend puts it in a glass jar, and then he lets it sit for 2 days.
Does he do the whole sun?
And he puts it in the sun for sun exposure to kill the chlorine.
Fire.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you, Luke, as well, bro. You need this shit, especially if you guys do like coffees and teas. We have 2 machines that we put our water through. The first one is like a carbon filtration, and then the second one is a reverse osmosis. So it basically purifies, cleans all, bro. Life changer. I used to have so much brain fog. I cleaned up my water and no GMOs, bro. Changed my life.
I've taken the water filtration, water to the next level. Like, so I use something similar, like, the water filtration I use is from this company that has reverse osmosis plus carbon filter plus one more filter. It's called the AquaTrue. So I use that for water, but this AquaTrue right here. But there's another level of drinking the best water on planet Earth, which is you have to understand about deuterium. Basically, it's research about deuterium light water. So I spend like $500 a month on water, essentially, because I'm pretty crazy about biohacking, and I love testing different things. But basically, deuterium is like heavy water. So, water throughout the world has 150 parts per million deuterium, which means there's, so let me back up a little bit. Every atom on the periodic table has what's called an isotope. There's a different version of hydrogen. So the problem with hydrogen, though, is the different version of hydrogen is twice as heavy as the regular version of hydrogen. So whereas other elements of the periodic table is only like 5% heavier or 10% heavier. So when hydrogen is like the most abundant like element in this universe, hydrogen is the first element of the periodic table. Like hydrogen is so small that it can go through glass. So when that element, and hydrogen is also used in every biological process in your body, including ATP production. So when you have a hydrogen molecule that's twice as big as the regular molecule, it causes a lot of problem in the body. And the isotope of hydrogen is called deuterium, and it's twice as heavy. And with that hydrogen, you can create, well, you can isolate it and create what's called like heavy water. This water is like heavier than the regular water, even though it looks and behaves just like water. And this is what nuclear physicists use to create an atomic bomb, which is basically concentrating heavy water, and they were able to create nuclear reactors with it. Well, certain scientists during World War II started testing what would happen if they started removing heavy water from the regular water that we drink every day. And so the regular water we drink every day has like 150 parts per million, which is essentially, you can visualize it as like 6 drops of heavy water per every like liter of like regular water. So they started removing heavy water from the water, which is a really complex process to do so. It takes a lot of energy to try to remove heavier version of water from water. It's not as simple as like distilling water and removing the impurities out of water. That you're literally talking about splitting water, different version of water from itself. So it's a very complicated process. That's why this water is like extremely expensive to get. Russian scientists started testing it, and they started removing heavy water from regular water. So they started creating, instead of 150 parts per million, which is what we regularly drink, to like 110 parts per million and 80 parts per million. And they started seeing all kinds of health benefits. Rats, they started obviously tested on rats and plants. So when you concentrate water and it goes beyond 150 parts per million into like 200 parts per million, like rats would not survive after 1 to 2 days, and plants would die after a day or two. So that just goes to show like there's a toxicity level to this deuterium inside our water. And when you begin to deplete it, you begin to see all kinds of almost miraculous health benefits, such as extended lifespans, more energy, more ATP production. It goes on and on and on. But yeah, essentially there's another level to getting the most optimal water, and that goes way beyond getting well water. Even the well waters of today are like at 150 parts per million. The best water you can get in the US that's not from like labs is like 145 parts per million if you're very lucky. But what this company has done, and there's a couple other companies, is through science they literally created a water that is 10 parts per million. So it's concentrate. You're supposed to dilute it with other sources of water to get like 100 parts per million. But yeah, I'll leave it with this. Like they've studied different like tribes of like Inuits, Eskimos that live on Arctic glaciers, and they have long extended lifespans. And these scientists, what they concluded, they studied them for like 10 years, is that they were drinking water of the glaciers, and the glacier water is like 100 parts per million of deuterium. So there's a lot of science coming out about deuterium as of late, and there's a lot of papers out there that show this. But yeah, it's really fascinating stuff.
Okay, so I've been living like a lie, bro.
Yeah, you are living in a lie, bro.
Okay, so hold on. So okay,
Bro, you've been living in
it's a little bit personal. But like, I've been literally waking up, bro, eating like at restaurants, Shake Shack, sometimes McDonald's, sometimes just like healthy food like Carrot Express. But like, I just eat out, bro. I don't cook. And then it's like, you're telling me that my deodorant's bad too, Starbucks is bad too.
It's all bad. All of it. Every single.
I'm not sure how old this guy is, but you can get away with eating a lot of junk food when you were younger, because your metabolism is different and your hormones are running the show when you're younger. But as you get older, if you're eating garbage, like what this guy was saying, is like you will not be able to be mentally sharp.
Little thing that they put out, bro. I'm telling you.
So then what do you eat?
It's all compromised, bro.
Monsanto. Okay, I know about Monsanto, right?
You need to
That's
Monsanto.
But then what's the alternative?
So the alternative is, instead of investing all the time and money into eating out, get a private chef and have the private chef, which is what we do, optimize your diet to your physique and to your nutrition and to your body. Just because something works for me or my body digests something well doesn't mean yours does.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to, bro, this is like optimized at a completely different level. When I sit with the billionaires in Puerto Rico, I ask them, what's your one piece of advice? Health, 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 health. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. That's the difference between a peasant and a king. Bro, do you think the peasants ate the same food that the kings ate?
No.
Do you think they got the same education the kings did?
No.
There you go.
On purpose.
We gotta keep people weak, dumb, and alone, bro.
Another interesting story or thing about history is, you guys heard of those sailors back in those days where that would get scurvy on those long like ship on those like journeys across the ocean. And that's like a lot of the rebuttals that vegetarians have about like carnivore diet is that, hey, how are you gonna get vitamin C? You're gonna get scurvy if you just eat meat. But that's totally not true. Like when you don't eat carbs, your body's requirement for vitamin C is like close to, like, it goes down dramatically when you're not eating carbs. Because carbs, like the glucose of carbs, compete for the same it competes for the same like cellular, like those cellular kind of attachment as vitamin C. It competes for the same like spot. This is why when you consume carb, you need a lot more vitamin C. But yeah, those sailors that got scurvy were the so-called like peasant class sailors that were eating nothing but biscuits on those ships. That's why they would get scurvy. The higher rank individuals on those ships had dried meat that they were eating, and those individuals would not get scurvy. There's minute amounts of vitamin C and these minerals in meat, so if you just ate meat, you would never get scurvy.
Bro, even I was telling him, this is why I appreciate the Tate fam. They do everything together as a squad. When was the last time when you were in school that they put you in problem-solving methodology in a group scenario? They don't. They want to keep you isolated, dumb, alone, afraid, naked, gross, depressed, suicidal, GMOs, fat as fuck, angry. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, dude, I'm telling you, G.
Tell me more, bro.
I'm telling you, G, we gotta fix this shit because it's not, and this is something I'm big on entrepreneurship, bro, is like health and wellness, dude, because it's like Tristan just said, bro, if you ain't alive, you fucked up.
What can I actually eat? Because, bro, my diet is terrible, bro. Like, I don't...
Bro, the biggest life hack is to go on a extreme elimination diet for a while, which is the carnivore diet. Literally, your body cannot survive on a vegan diet, vegetarian diet. A vegetarian diet is missing over 50 different macronutrients. So that tells you right there, like, God did not intend you to be a vegetarian or be on a vegan diet. There's too many deficiencies in those diets for your body to survive. But your body can survive off of literally just meat. Meat from ruminant animals, like grass grazing animals, have literally every macronutrient and fat soluble vitamins that your body needs. So when you go on a diet and you're eating nothing but meat, which is evolutionarily aligned with how early humans ate and how your digestive tract and your stomach is designed to digest meat, you will realize a whole new level of like mental acuity, because it's the carbs and it's the sugar that causes inflammation throughout your body, and which means, inflammation of your brain, which is what leads to brain fog. Carbs and sugar is what is the real enemy.
Every single day.
You know, the thing is though, you ask these questions, I feel like you already know the basic answers. You eat McDonald's every day. You know not to do that. So you're trying to get into the specifics without covering the basics. You know what I mean? It's like when people care about fitness, they're like, okay, what's the exact correct technique to lift this and lift that? People who don't train at all, just go running and do some push-ups. Everyone knows like the answers. Step one, stop eating McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
Like that. Once you do that, worry more about the exact specifics of what you're eating and what you're not.
What I would say something's really good is always being conscientious of what you eat. So at all times in my life, I have some sort of dietary restriction, right? So I limit some sort of thing. So right now, like I limit high fructose corn syrup, like processed sugars. I don't do any of that garbage. I don't do caffeine. So I limit my diet. Why? So every time I eat, I'm conscious. Bro, think about the most basic common things that everybody has. Eating, sleeping, exercising, the most basic element. When was the last time, bro, that you were like, I feel hungry? I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna diet. I'm gonna fast.
On a plane, I can move.
So let me tell you this one, bro. What?
But I'm not. I used to be a big advocate for like intermittent fasting, but these days, like, I'm finding that chronic fasting is not necessarily great for performance and health. Most people, you'll be shocked to realize, is we're not getting enough protein in our diet. Your body turns over 300 grams of protein alone in just replacing different cells. And most average average male eats about 100 grams of protein per day. Average female eats about 70 grams of protein. What you'll begin to, and then the more optimal level is like eating 150 grams of protein and 200 grams of protein. So when you begin to understand this, you quickly begin to realize like there's not that much space left in your digestive tract for other things, especially like carbs / vegetables. Like literally, human beings were designed to be hyper carnivore.
If what you're experiencing isn't actual hunger, what if what you're experiencing is addiction?
Holy shit.
So like chronic intermittent fasting, there's another word for it, which is like chronic starvation. It can literally, it's not the best thing to do on an extended period, in my opinion. Now, I do believe depending on your goal, like if you're trying to lose weight, time restricted feeding can be good. However, if you're trying to grow muscle and get stronger and bigger, like your goal should be getting enough protein every day, not intermittent fasting all the time. Because if you intermittent fast and fast all the time, like how Luke is explaining, it will lead to chronic levels of not getting enough proteins on a daily basis, which might explain why Luke tends to be pretty skinny.
You're right.
Because you're training your brain, bro. Like your body.
Wait. Hold on. But like,
also, like I'm a pretty skinny guy genetically as well. And I've only really been diving deep into the necessity of getting enough protein on a daily basis recently. And I'm already seeing a lot more gains of muscle through my resistance training and strength increases, and just overall feeling better and more energy, more sustained energy throughout the day as I'm increasing my protein intake on a daily basis.
my lifestyle, like I'm always like out and about. I'm never really home to like cook. So like,
You have to be home and cooking, bro. It's about being aware. Like maybe when you feel like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's or I'm gonna go to Taco Bell, maybe it's not that you're hungry, maybe your body's craving the poison, bro. What if the food is designed specifically to make you an addict?
And that is a perfect example. Coca-Cola. Is Coke, would you say it's...
There's definitely addiction involved, that your body gets addicted to like sugars and whatnot. But how to beat that addiction is to actually feed your body nutrient dense foods, aka meat and like butter. And so if you begin doing that, like you will have less and less cravings. There's one doctor that recommends anytime you get like a craving to eat like a stick of butter.
Sweet or is it salty?
Sweet.
Perfect. Guess how much sodium is in Coca-Cola?
A lot.
Why?
Because it's addictive.
Not only that, why? What does salt do?
Makes you thirsty.
It dehydrates you and makes you drink more. They purposely put a lot of salt, sodium in it, for you to get thirsty to drink more, and then they put sugar to cover it up.
I'll give you an example. Another one. Gatorade, right? We talk about electrolytes and it boosts you up. Do you know that when they're putting it into the actual plastic bottles, it's boiling hot? And what is boiling plastic, right? Boiling hot water or liquid and plastic do? It dissolves the plastic into microplastic.
Into the
drink.
So you drink plastic?
Gatorade, yeah, microplastics.
And there's petroleum-based ingredients in it as well, a lot of stuff. You know, it's a perfect example of like, okay, you know what?
That's why we don't vape. We don't do any of that shit, bro.
Okay, I do occasionally, but it's not the best.
Let's be devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are telling all this information, but guess what? You're gonna die anyway. So what?
But here's the thing: is how do you want to live?
Yeah.
It's not how do you want to die; it's how do you want to live. Like, do you want to wake up brain fog, like an accident, fucked up, or do you want to wake up in a scenario where you feel empowered to take over, to conquer? Think of how delusional it is to wake up tired.
Yeah.
What's the whole fucking point of sleep? It's to wake up rested. But motherfuckers are out here eating at 2 a.m.
That's me, bro.
Okay.
Okay. So you told me yesterday, bro. Don't do that, cause like, for example, I'll go do the podcast, then go to a club network. You know, might go to chick, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry too. We go eat and back to the crib, do our thing, and then I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But like he's saying, if I eat that late, I can't process the food like I normally would, right?
No.
Well, there's multiple scenarios. One, your body only has X amount of energy, right, that it can expend. So the question is it going to expend the energy on repairing your body or expend the energy on digesting the food? You can't do both. So at nighttime, you gotta let your body actually rest. That's why after 6, 7, 8 p.m., you should not be touching food, bro.
And if you're extremely
That's why this guy can get back into shape, bros, because this guy naturally lives in a state where he's doing intermittent fasting every day of life.
I'll eat 3,500 calories in a single meal once a day.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
that's better
A lot of the time. That's what I do.
It's
in
like
the afternoon, not before. So I always go to sleep a bit hungry. You know, I don't have breakfast in the morning. I don't even realize I do it. It's how I live.
It's your lifestyle, yeah.
So actually, avoid breakfast.
Avoid breakfast.
Yeah, fuck
So let me tell you about the breakfast diet. Have you heard of a guy called Edward Bernays?
No.
Holy. So Edward Bernays is known as the father of propaganda. The meat.
It's so it's really like the biggest thing that messes up your sleep is the carbohydrates that spikes your insulin. That is like the most detrimental thing to your sleep. Like protein and fats is not as detrimental to sleep.
Industry came to Edward Bernays, who's known as the father of propaganda, pushing propaganda campaigns, and said we need to push more sales of bacon, more sales of meat. Can we figure out how to introduce meats into the breakfast diet? So they built an entire marketing campaign behind breakfast being the most important meal of the day. It skyrocketed. Sausage sales, bacon sales, ham sales. Bro, breakfast wasn't a thing. They made it a thing. You want to know the craziest part?
You know, this is why it's important to have different perspective, because if you study this, the science of Dr. Don Layman and Gabrielle Lyons, they say having a high protein breakfast is very, very important, because when you're sleeping, your body is in a catabolic state. So you're like in a breaking down your muscles kind of state. So it's important to like feed yourself, not first thing in the morning. I still wait till like noon, but I make sure the first meal that I eat has a lot of protein, like at least 50 grams of protein, 30 to 50 grams. You need at least 30 grams of protein to get 2.5 grams of leucine, and you need enough leucine to activate mTOR. And mTOR is the genetic pathway sequence or activation that switches your body into muscle building mode. And so like you have to learn about leucine and mTOR. It's very, very, very crucial.
Who's the nephew of, or the family member, I think, of Sigmund Freud, or one of these guys, of the guy from Propaganda, Edward Bernays. You know who's his family member?
Bill Gates?
The founder of Netflix.
And what is Netflix, bro? It's
Propaganda machines, bro. It's all propaganda machines, bro. I'm telling you, bro, the Matrix is so fucking deep. You gotta start like reassessing everything. There's a really good verse in the Bible that says, "When I became a man, I put away childish things."
Yeah.
You have to be able to put away things to become the next guy, bro. You gotta become the next level to get to the next level, bro. You gotta put away the bullshit foods. You're stronger than that, G. If you can't control what you put in your body, then what can you actually control?
So when I'm hungry, what do I do?
You ask yourself, you ask yourself, do I need to eat? No, it's okay being hungry, G. You're not gonna die.
So if I don't eat, won't it burn like my muscle?
Yeah, no. It depends.
If you go into a ketosis state, you start burning fat.
Your body will adapt the more you do it, the more your body will get efficient and what it needs to burn.
No, your body will actually start breaking down protein if you don't eat for too long. So it's like, your body, like, people completely underestimate the importance of amino acids in the diet. So again, reference, you got to study Dr. Don Layman and Gabrielle Lyons and the science that they have. Our human body is constantly looking for amino acids. Amino acids is the essential building block of your entire body. And so if you eat a carbon or carb heavy meal and it didn't have enough protein in it, you're still gonna get hungry, and that's what leads to ravenous eating and obesity, because human beings are trying to get the amino acids, but there's not enough protein in the meals that you're eating. Like pizza barely has any, it's mostly carb, right? Pasta is mostly carb. So we're constantly amino acids deficient. So if you switch to carnivore diet, the reason why it's so so beneficial for health is because finally your body is getting the essential building blocks of your entire body, and now it can go to repair different things in your body.
Show them your abs, bro.
So context before I show my abs. Okay, I was overweight. The last month I haven't trained at all. I've been off my diet, etc. Bullshit. Long story short, biohacking, dieting.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, pull it proper, bro. I didn't see that shit.
And yo, he was fat, guys. He was literally fat, bro. Yo, Tristan, come on, bro.
We need some Fitness Friday on this shit, bro.
No, we do have that,
Bro,
yeah.
mark my words. I'm gonna be 20 pounds of lean muscle, 1 to 2 pounds a month, and so you can see me in half a year. I'm gonna be a beast. I was overweight. I could barely touch my knees.
Depressed
as fuck. Now I can do splits, bro.
In 6 months you can split.
Holy
Good for this guy, man.
shit, dude.
Bro, I had to pull this guy. Context and scenario, I had to pull his revolvers and guns and all this shit from his house because he was suicidal.
Wow.
Shitty food, shitty diet. Like, bro, poison, bro. Poison on poison on poison. Recalibrated, moved to the island, like, reassess food, chef, diet, nutrition, lifestyle. Boom, 6 months, G.
Change.
Yeah.
Bro, the human potential is limitless, G. Like, you can literally be whatever you want to be, bro. But you have to instill discipline.
So you said that the millionaires all focus on health.
Bro, biohacking is the biggest thing for success. Dude, what's the difference between you and another person? It ain't hard work, bro. Bro, it's your ability. It's how your operating system works. What do you want? A cheap bullshit CPU that can't process anything, or you want to be on fucking steroids, bro? 16 gigs of RAM, fucking going hard.
This is why I like Luke Belmar, because he spits some real facts, and this is the shit that I love and what I believe in. This is why I'm so like into biohacking also, and it really does make a difference.
Ethernet cord like attached. No, you gotta be optimized, dude. You gotta be optimized. You would. I can guarantee you, if you were fucking shredded, and you were healthy, you would be a lot richer.
Well, the issue's not being shredded, bro. The issue is just being it's shredded is just a byproduct of your decisions, bro. Like all fat is literally stored energy around your waist, bro.
Instead of expending that energy to like develop your body, you're just leaving it there. It's just accumulating. It's like accumulating trash on the side of the door. Just keeps piling, bro.
Well, another really crazy thing.
Remember, bro, nobody became fat in one day.
We're talking about like fitness and health and stuff like that. And he said don't drink tap water.
You drink tap water, G?
Miami's not that bad.
Dude, Florida has one of the worst waters in all of the United States.
I promise I live.
But tell him. It's about how you live, G.
Save his life, bro.
Let me go get a shirt and I'll come back.
I'm gonna gift you a reverse osmosis machine that you can utilize, and then a carbon filtration system. It cleans your entire water
And you
supply.
can do tap water, but it gets rid of everything.
It gets rid of everything.
What about like bottled water?
Depends on the bottled water. So you have to look at a couple
pH
factors.
levels?
It's not pH.
No.
So here's the thing. People talk about your pH.
Also, over drinking water is not the healthiest thing either, even if you get it super filtered, because every water has high like deuterium. If you want to be optimal, and it's too long for me to explain on this video, but yeah, there's people out there that don't drink water. They get their water from eating fats from animals or butter, and your body can convert fat into water, into metabolic water. So
Each level you're out.
and when your body converts fat into metabolic water, that water is already naturally depleted of deuterium. This is real science behind this. Like, people are reversing cancer by going on a deuterium depletion protocol. It's a big
Alkaline
deal.
needs to be high. No, your alkaline levels are okay, because if your alkaline levels were off balance, you would be dead, right? So this idea of over-alkalinized water is horseshit. What you want to be drinking is spring water. If you're drinking purified water, that's tap water. It's just purified water. It's water that's
They resell it and sell it to you at a high price. You know?
bro. Yeah, it's like Dasani. Dasani is a Coca-Cola product. That is purified water. It is literally known that the water bottles sit in hot, humid warehouses for 6 months to a year. So they're consuming all the microplastics. So bottled water, either metal, ideally not metal, but glass. And then if you are going to tap into like making teas and stuff like that, bro, spring water would change your life. There's Aquapana, Pellegrino, those ones.
What about Icelandic?
I know the brand. I think that's from like a glacier. I think it's glacier water. I'm not super familiar with that. But then like water like Fiji and certain things like that, gotta play the devil's advocate on those. But what I would say, bro, is what I do is I order on Amazon just pallets of water delivered to my house every week. School teaches you how to be poor.
Yeah.
School teaches you, bro, but how to be poor. It's an indoctrination camp. It's an indoctrination camp based off of the Prussian school system, which is how to create laborers, not independent thinkers. Everything they teach you, analyze it. All of it, dude. Every single last bit of it. And I went through a hellish road to figure all this out. It took me like 2 years, bro. My family disowned me. It was like a really crazy scenario, bro. But you have to go through the path of truth, bro. And like this health perspective, it's the next level of the matrix that you have to unlock. If you want to get to the next level.
It's interesting that like
have like status, whatever.
entrepreneurs all like go through this process. Like, even my mentor Dan, like, we talk about like water, we talk about all this kind of stuff all the time.
Like, one thing I told you I need to work on is fitness, because for me personally, like, my health is my last kind of like thing I worry about. But
People don't, what's crazy is like people don't even know how to like optimize their health unless like you go really deep into the research.
now it's like, okay, what's the next level?
Like jogging, for example. Like, jogging, not good for you.
And like,
Upregulates cortisol, and cortisol downregulates muscle protein synthesis. So you're actually, if you jog all the time, you're actually hurting you're losing muscle mass.
you know, like Thanos has the Infinity Stone. Sorry, the Infinity Gauntlet. That's my last stone, bro. So.
And you know what, bro? This is what people don't talk about, because people don't understand that people put value on the things that they can replace.
Right now, just the
And they take for granted the things that they cannot replace. You will not get a new body, right? What you have is what you have. Your body is the greatest piece of real estate you'll ever own. How are you going to take care of it? You have 2 Lambos,
true.
you have a Rolls. What about the fucking Lamborghini? Walking Lamborghini. I need to see you as a fucking walking Lamborghini, not riding in a Lambo. Be a fucking Lambo. Have you heard of the story of Daniel in the lion's den? And the Bible, that they basically grab a guy, they throw him in the lion's den. You've heard of it.
course.
So the interesting part about Daniel is that the Jews, right, the Israelites, there was a siege, Babylon grabs everybody, makes them slaves. They grabbed the elite of all of the Israelites, the scholars, the educated, the rich, and they put them in Babylon to retrain them. And what is the first thing that they do? They try to have them eat the king's food. And what does Daniel say? He says, no, I will not corrupt myself with the food of the king. And he ate water and he ate vegetables for 30 days, and after 30 days he looked better than everybody that was eating the king's food. So that's the thing, bro. What you see in the corner street, no offense, KFC. I know KFC is different here and stuff like that. KFC, Taco Bell, all this shit, bro. It is designed deliberately to destroy you. It is tools of the Matrix put in place to destroy you. And there's something. That's why I eat a lot of Michelin star restaurants and things of this nature, and why I only buy like organic cannabis and things of this nature. If it wasn't done with love, why would I consume it? If it's done for profit, right? That's why I don't vape. These fucking Chinese shops, it's all profit. Like even sometimes I thought
he was gonna go on a good tangent there, but he didn't quite hit the mark for me personally. You know, the winningest civilizations ate protein because they were winners, like, or the tribe that were able to successfully hunt buffalo or large game. Those winners were the ones that ate protein, so their offspring would grow taller and bigger and stronger because they had enough protein. The losers were the ones that were eating carbs. You know, how much easier is it to grow some crops, right? And feed your civilization carbs, which is like super low in nutrients. So that's kind of how I look at it, and how anthropology studies kind of look at different aspects of like human nutrition. And like if you study any science around Western studies of like Weston A. Price, physical degeneration began to happen when people that were not touched by Western civilization, tribes that lived on Alps in the Alps, or Eskimos and whatnot, when they became westernized and they started eating carbs and sugar, in 1 to 2 generations, like they physically degenerated. You know, the kids started having cavities and crowded teeth, and now the kids needed braces, whereas, you know, their grandparents never needed braces or they never got cavities because they were eating closer to the more natural human diet, which is animal-based animal products like, you know, dairy, raw dairy, butter, meat. As soon as they started eating carbs and sugar, physical degeneration started all across the world.
Shit on because all I wear is Balenciaga shirts, right? Because when I was poor, I either wear Balenciaga, and I used to eat really bad food. My parents didn't have a lot of money and stuff like that, so it was healthy food and t-shirts. And that's how I looked at it. I looked at the kings of China.
So much indoctrination that we went through since we were little. The food pyramid, for example, was created by the elites that prioritizes literally like carbs at the bottom of the food pyramid, and then butter at the top and meat like second to the top. Literally telling you like carbs is like the most important. Literally you can flip that pyramid upside down, and that's like the optimal human diet. So they literally flipped the optimal human diet on its head, and now we wonder why cancer and diabetes rates is higher than it's ever been, even though we're supposed to be an intelligent group of human civilization. We still have not figured out optimal human diet and how to optimize human health.
China, the emperors, all these things, what did they wear? The most expensive silk, and they ate the best food. If I want to be a king, I have to dress like a king. I have to eat like a king. I have to study like a king.
I like my suits. That's why I like my tattoos.
That's what we're doing on the 3rd, G.
Yeah.
A lot of kings during that time, actually, their health degenerated because they had enough money to get sugar. And back then, like, they didn't know how detrimental sugar was. They just knew it tasted great, right? It was like almost like cocaine, and also has addictive qualities. So a lot of the king classes showed, in their, just looking at their pictures and whatnot, showed forms of physical degeneration because they could afford sugar.
Yeah, I'm taking you to
I know, bro. I'm getting my first John Wick tailored 10K suit, G.
Damn.
Savile Row, man.
Like, that's what I'm telling you, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't deck out this Ferrari, and I'm not talking about like flashy shit. I'm talking about like, bro, like when people look at you and like that, and that's it. I want my life to inspire. I don't want to talk. I want my life to just inspire. Like, damn, this guy's doing it.
You sit right there, bro. I don't want to talk. I just want to inspire.
This is like, I want your life to inspire. That's definitely true, but it's definitely important to work on your physique. Like, men will get respect from other men just based on your physique alone. So that's why, you know, learning about mTOR and protein intake and doing resistance training is like key for men, for sure.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
All right, so yeah, I hope you guys like that video. Again, there's just a lot more to health optimization than eat your vegetables. Like, I've been on a carnivore diet for the last 4 months, and it's been a really eye-opening experience for me. So I'm gonna keep sharing what I'm really into right now, and that goes just beyond entrepreneurship and local lead generation. You know, what I'm really passionate about is like biohacking and health optimization.